Tennessee Museum decided to display a kid's letter to Santa requesting slaves. Put it up for a mass. Tennessee Museum display has sparked outrage as children's letters to Santa requesting slaves go viral. The incident has prompted an investigation and public backlash. Two of the letters, which appear to be in child's handwriting, are requesting slaves from Santa. The third letter was an activity sheet with the type prompt, "For Christmas, I would love," quote, to which someone wrote, "a slave," as a response. So here's what people are saying. Hundreds of people shared the post and left comments expressing disgust at the letter. Some people surmised that the same person who wrote the letters, some people surmised that the same person wrote the letters. Others speculated that whoever wrote the letters intended to express their wishes for a slay and not a slave. Several people did not buy that line of thinking. Quote, "This can't even be claimed as a mistake," one person commented. Slay and slave are two different things. If they spelled it right, and they spelled it right every time, they knew exactly what they meant, another person added. Quote, "I see no mistake here. They didn't put no name purposely. They knew exactly what they were doing. If you teach your kids racism, teach consequences as well," someone else wrote. One person commented that he and his wife visited the museum and removed the letters, calling them childish BS. Quote, "This is awful that something like this was put up especially for a child to have a mind frame so young like this. Wow," another person wrote. Now, I want to provide a little bit of nuance and some pushback. The comments are very heavy on blaming the child and also talking about how the child needs to have a penalty. Well, we're talking about very, very young children who still believe in Santa Claus. If this is a real scenario, you're dealing with a child who believes in a fairy tale. Okay. Where did the child learn the fairy tale from? Well, parents. So where did the child learn the other lie from? The parents. Okay. The second thing, the decision to display them did not fall on children. It fell on adults, grown people, individuals that are supposed to have common and conscious insight. Discovery Park of America left a comment under the post after it began gaining traction on Facebook, explaining that the Santa letters they provide child visits are supposed to be filled out and left in their North Pole mailbox. We appreciate the guests who removed these inappropriate items that someone that hung over our traditional Hallmark Christmas card display. We're taking steps to prevent from this happening again, the museum wrote in a Facebook comment. But you have employees that are supposed to do this part. We're the grown people. Many people have called on museum officials to check the facility security camera, to check the perpetrator, to catch the perpetrator or perpetrators in the act. The museum told WREG that the camera stationed over the area where the letters were found was not positioned in such a way to capture the heinous act. Officials said they're looking into other ways to investigate. Start with your employees who are aware that the camera doesn't point over there. All right. Ben, thoughts?
Yeah, you make a very great point about the children here are less to blame than the parents who are failing these children miserably in the morality department, and the very lazy and or very disgusting minded, or both, museum employees that saw this and thought, this is wall worthy, let's put it up.
Right.
I mean, you're sifting through presumably large numbers of Christmas wishes. Maybe skip those and try to figure out who they belong to. They don't need to be up on the walls. That's the pride and joy of your town. It's just we're living in confusing times. I wish I had a sleigh now and I could go live in the North Pole, because being around humanity has been disconcerting lately.
Yeah, that's right. But it takes some folk like yourself and others, man, to anchor the light. Anchor the light. All right. Anchor the light. All right, we got
thank you so much, Doc. But also, somebody should look into whether Santa is paying those elves, because I wonder.
that's a whole different conversation. The whole
Different
Santa
conversation.
thing.